All right. Looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. Thanks for
Hi,
joining us
everybody.
today. We got wonderful Mel with us. It's been a minute. How have you been doing, Mel?
Oh, I'm hanging in there,
Yeah.
trying.
Well, we've all been sending you a lot of love, and we've missed you the last couple of weeks while you were gone.
I was in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That was an amazing trip. It was the most incredible trip I've ever had.
No good.
I want to go back. Uganda, the people were so friendly and amazingly wonderful, and we didn't feel ever threatened. And
Oh, that's good.
we were in places where there's no running. Well, we didn't stay in places, but in the countryside, the huts are made of, wattle and daub, which means that they take poles and then they
Mm-hmm.
weave sticks,
Yeah.
uh, and then they take mud, straw, and cow dung. And the cow dung is a binder, and they slap it on, and when it hardens, it's as hard as brick.
Yeah.
And then they put a roof on it, a thatched roof, and that could be their house, that could be their kitchen. So there's no refrigeration, a lot of times no running water,
Mm.
um, no electricity. So, they grow their own food. They grow coffee a lot of times, plantains, bananas,
Mm.
beans. And so, and they cook on an open fire in their little kitchen. It was really amazing. Uh,
Yeah. Do you think it probably puts things in perspective of how lucky we have it, and um, you know, how much harder it is out there, all the things that we have to be grateful for.
Well, the good part was, though, people, they weren't complaining. Here we come,
Hmm.
what we don't have.
Yeah.
I didn't see that in place. One of the places we went, I'll show you something real quick. Um, she was grinding millet on a stone, and then she had a grinding stone, and
Mm.
she was grinding to make this dough that they cook over an open fire, and then the dough is hot, and you take a piece out. They wash your hands first. Take a piece out. You put a hole in the middle, and they make this peanut sauce, and it
Oh.
was really delicious. And they served us coffee that they
Mm.
roasted on an open fire, and then they pound it to get the coffee, and it was so cool. Then we got to interact with the Batwa tribe, um, formerly known as Pygmies, but they call them Batwas. They dance for us. Here, they just seem so happy here.
Yeah.
Here's I think that is so cool.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love the energy of that.
isn't it cool? And
Hmm.
I'll show you what I was talking about with the kitchen. Let me just find that when she's grinding, and then they chant, and the chant is like, we grind the grain, we cook the dough, and we eat. Um,
Mm.
let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. Well, here she is
And this is
making.
how the flour dissolves in. So by the look of that, when you see that reaction, you just know that your water is fully ready.
She's cooking over a fire.
Then
Mm.
let's mix the two flours, and it should be
Hold
equal.
on a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Here. He's pounding coffee, and she's grinding. So even when they're working, they're like happy.
Hmm. Earth Mama made a good comment. She said they're raising the vibrations. Absolutely.
Oh, totally. And you don't hear anybody complain. I mean, and so the kitchen, here's a picture of the kitchen. That is their kitchen. That was one of them.
Yeah.
It's wattle and daub, and then there's a thatch on the top. And I'll show you a picture of me and with a member of the Batwa, because it's hard to see the perspective. Now I'm 5'9", but
Yeah.
I'll show you the picture here. And so I'm 5'9", And this little botchwell guy, he was a great storyteller. He had to be about 4'8" or 4'9". That's me, and that's him next.
Mhm.
So you get an idea of how tall he was.
Yeah.
It was just, and that little hut in the back, they stay in those.
Mm. Those are the ones that you were saying where
No,
they
those
build
weren't
on.
Wattle and Daub. Those were different, but
Okay.
this is Wattle and Daub. But you can see, like, this is another kitchen, but you can kind of see how.
Mm.
And if you're sitting low, it's not hot, but when you stand up, because the heat rises,
Yeah.
it's hot. But it was really, really. In addition to seeing the mountain gorillas, that was so cool.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, cool. That's pretty close too.
Very close. You're not. They say keep a 6-foot distance, but if they come close to you,
Mm.
then and so this one was in the bushes, and it had to be like maybe 3 feet away. And she looked at me. I looked down, and then she went down the hill. My niece was like down the hill. The hill was like this, and she got in front of my niece, and she woo woo.
Mhm.
Her head down, and she sauntered off, and she came back even closer to being got in the bushes. And there's different tours. I mean, there's different hikes. Ours was 2.5 hours in, but one of them was like 4 hours. And, I couldn't do that because it's like,
Yeah.
but I hired 2 porters, one to push and one to pull. But I had lots of water. But one, I think was it Kelly? Hi, Kelly. Um, or Judy Rawls. I can't remember, but one of them, they were seeing a different gorilla family.
Mm.
Our family was the Cutway family, and there was 7 gorillas, but theirs I
Mm.
think was like 16 or 17. But anyway, this gorilla went past her and grabbed her on the butt. I said, "Ooh, you got groped by a gorilla, girlfriend." So I was like, "Wow."
Oh, and Rebecca's joining us. I think she went on the trip with you.
Yeah, Becky was there. Hi, Becky. How are you? We're talking about Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the most incredible trip. I mean, we saw lions and oh my goodness,
That's awesome.
chimpanzees. We hiked in to see them, baboons, warthogs, elephants. One elephant charged our safari vehicle. Actually, we got charged 3 times. Um, you know, let's see. We saw her whole herd of elephant crossing the street,
Mm-hmm.
or not the street, but the road. A lot of the roads in
Yeah.
Uganda are unpaved, so a lot of our journeys were on unpaved roads. Uh, like here, this is. I
Oh,
mean,
cool.
we saw hippos and um,
So did you do like a safari kind of thing there too? Um,
well, one day
you go in the park?
we spent 2 days at the Kasani Safari Camp, and that was
Mhm.
on the savannah, and the border of Queen Elizabeth National Park was right across the street, and we glamped. There were tents,
Oh,
and
okay.
the last night we were there, they prepared dinner for us in the bush, and so there's all these bushes, but they lit fires, and they have guards there because the lions hide in those bushes.
Mm.
And from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., we wouldn't leave our tents unless they would come to get us, because they would send somebody with a AK-47.
Yeah.
They didn't, I don't think they'd shoot the lion; they would just shoot it up in the air. But
Yeah.
still, you just had to be careful. And they had these huge flashlights, and but that was dinner in the bush.
Oh, cool.
It was really neat. Um, I mean, I just can't say enough about it. And I mean, we all bonded. It was just
Mhm.
incredible. This was our driver, Simon.
Mhm.
Uh, this was Mohammed. He made sure that we got watermelon, jackfruit, bananas, whatever. He was a driver guide. Um, let's see here. Let me find. I'll show you what one of the tents looked like that we stayed in. Actually, um, they were really cool. Here we were on the river, and we came across elephants drinking.
Mm. I love elephants.
Well, and the hippos too, actually.
Mm.
You hear the vocalizations of the hippos. Um, you can hear
Oh
them.
yeah. Hmm. You got to be careful with hippos too because they're really territorial.
They're the most dangerous animal. Even though they're
Mhm.
vegetarians, when they attack, they don't stop until you die. This one charged the boat.
Oh
The boat was way too big, but
yeah.
I mean, it was just so cool. Here's a water buffalo.
Hmm.
Um, I could just go on and on. Um, this is the guy that charged us.
Okay.
They told us like when they stomp their feet and they um, wave their ears and they move their trunks back and forth. It's called a false charge.
Okay.
That guy's going to do a charge. No, no. Well, he did. So here
Yeah.
was the backside of the tent where we stayed.
Okay.
Um, and this
How was the temperature there? Was it really hot or was it comfortable?
this was from the view from the back of the tent.
Hmm.
It depends on where you were. Like on the savannah, it was around 85, but one day it rained, but one day it was really hot.
Okay.
And when we were in the windy forest, that's a rainforest. It rains every day, but then when the sun comes out, it gets really steamy. But the
Hmm.
temperature, the actual temperature was probably about maybe 80, 85.
Okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but the humidity is
Yeah.
killer.
I'm assuming even like in like the mountains and the forest, I'm sure it's very humid, isn't it?
It was. So
Yeah.
this was the tent, like from my bed looking out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we had hot and cold running water,
Hmm.
like shower. It had all kinds of neat things. And then you can see the tent. You can't see the tent because they got like a wall around it to keep the lions and the hippos out.
Mm.
Bats get in there though.
Oh, yeah.
But it was incredible. The lions, I mean, we were up close and personal. We got up before the sun came up and we were out
Mhm.
about maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And there was a whole pride of lions right by the road. And they said typically they don't get that close to the road. So we were really lucky
Oh,
to
to see
be.
him.
Oh, it was just so cool. Uh,
Oh, cool.
I mean, they were really close. I mean, maybe I'd say 15 feet.
Hmm.
That and that light you see in the background is the car headlights.
Okay.
So they were right near the road. Uh, this guy kept trying to get his picture and he kept turning away from me, but he was the closest to our vehicle.
And they were all just calm there, just watching
They
and
were just
content.
laying down. One was crossing the street,
Yeah.
this lioness, she was getting ready to cross the street. Uh, it was like they were just like hanging out. There's a male.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so incredible. Here's a Cassini safari camp, and it looked
Hmm.
like kind of that on the inside.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's all open. It was really neat. The lighting is very dim
Hmm.
because they use like a lot of solar power and stuff. And they
Right.
set up dinner the first night for us outside.
It
So
looks like a wonderful trip, Mel.
it was amazing. It was just absolutely incredible. Now, this is the guy that charged us.
Uh-huh.
But anyway,
Well, thank you, Jay Robert. Well, everybody I think was enjoying you telling your trip and sharing everything. I'm so glad it was a fun trip. I felt like you were going to have a blast there. So, do you feel like that's something that you'd be open to doing again in the future?
oh, absolutely. When I get over this cancer, I'm going to plan a trip to Kenya and Tanzania, but that's not going to be seeing chimpanzees or gorillas. That's going to be in the savannas to see like giraffes, rhinoceros, lions, leopards.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
so,
A couple people in the chat were saying that they wanted to do the trip, so or
well,
it was on their bucket list.
well, if you'd like to go to Uganda, let me know because I can arrange that.
Yeah.
When we were actually at Taraco Treetops, that's another safari camp. One day we hiked in to see the chimpanzees, and that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that was amazing. Um, let's see. So we in the hotel we stayed at in Kampala was 5-star. It was really
Nice.
but we had to get on a dirt road to get there. Like, oh, where are they taking us? And then you come up on this beautiful hotel. um, a lot of motorcycles,
Okay.
in Kampala, but um, it's a whole different experience.
Mm,
A lot of the bathrooms where we stopped, there's just a hole and you have to squat.
yeah.
So, um, when in Rome or when in Africa, do as the African. But I fell in
Right.
love with Uganda. It's a beautiful country. The scenery is just beautiful.
I bet.
Um, anyway, but before we go further, Kevin, I want to say thank you because you have been incredibly supportive through this whole thing.
Oh, of course.
And Linda Grindel's been amazing. Freebird Spirit has been amazing. Violetta, I understand in Canada, said prayers and told people
Mm,
to pray. Thank you, Violetta. Let me see. Kevin Lewis,
yeah.
uh, Linda Grindel's daughter, Nicole. The whole community has been so wonderful and supportive. And I just can't thank everybody enough for the healing prayers and energy. I go to the surgeon tomorrow. I don't have the biopsy results back yet, but got to take it from there. So
Yeah.
um, that's what's happening. But I think Africa, is probably the shot in the arm I needed.
Yeah. Of course.
So
Well, I'll just say our community is always so loving, and anytime anything's going on, there's just so much love and support, and we all definitely feel that. I'm sure that you felt all of the love and the prayers that
yeah.
everybody was
I
sending.
also want to say thank you to Sterling because he read for some reading for me through Linda.
Oh,
It
nice.
was funny on the airplane going to Amsterdam, at O'Hare, I was spiraling. I didn't want anybody to know it.
Mm,
But, on the airplane going to Amsterdam, I slept a little bit. Normally, I don't sleep on planes, but I was in the bathroom on the airplane in the morning, and this most incredible sense of peace came over me.
yeah.
And I'm sure it was in response to all the healing energy and
Hmm.
prayers that everybody was sending. So please keep sending them.
No, I'm sure everybody's going to keep sending them, and like I said though too, all of that love is just so uplifting. Probably what you needed to, just so that you could go on your trip and in full spirit and really get to enjoy it. And it's so hard when the health stuff kind of you know
But I thank
scary.
everybody. And Becky had a birthday when she was there.
Oh, cool.
And I got to show you this. This was so cool. Uh, at Taraco Treetops, she had a birthday African style. Let me find it. This is really neat. I was like, wow. Give me 1 second here.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, a lot of love going on in the chat. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, well, here is a chimp. Let me just find the little guy. I've got so many pictures. When we first walked up, this little guy, he was just laying there asleep and he rolled over. He was so cute. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's him just laying there. Can you see him?
Mm-hmm.
He was so cute, just kind of watching and checking out stuff. But let me find Becky's birthday. Hold on a second. It's here somewhere. Uh, Give me 1 minute.
Oh, you're fine, Mel. Yes,
Um,
Shannon, we are a powerful, loving, supportive community.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me see here. Let me look, Becky. Oh, no. Um, she had her birthday when we were there,
Yep.
and we were in a restaurant, and they all came out singing happy birthday. But when we were at Taraco, one night we had talked to the staff, and they came out and did a whole special. Oh, here it is. And did a whole special birthday. Of course, I had to get up and shake it a little bit.
I love the energy, man.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, very cool.
So, Becky, I hope it was a great birthday for you.
Mm.
I hope you don't mind, Becky, that I played that.
Well, it sounds like a blast, Mel.
I'm sorry?
So the trip sounds like it was a blast.
It was so much fun. But, everybody was so wonderful. And But, back to the community. Everybody's been so wonderful in the community. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But I'll keep everybody posted.
Thank you.
All right. So what do we got going here, Kevin?
All right, everyone. So me and Mel are going to do some political current event questions. If you like, go ahead and send your questions in all caps, a couple of heart emojis. We'll get to as many questions as possible. I hadn't watched too much news today. I feel like the last couple of weeks it's just been busy, and not able to really sit down and watch. I did catch on the news about that submarine, or I don't think that's the right term for it, but I had Susan Lynn on Tuesday, and I kind of tapped into the energy. I didn't have a really good feeling with it, but then when I was tapping into it, all of a sudden I just got a beautiful, peaceful, calming feeling when I was tapping into the energy. And for me, it just felt like a beautiful transition where, nobody was suffering. I don't think anybody even knew what had happened. It kind of just happened in an instant is what I was feeling. So, I mean, it's always sad when, that kind of stuff happens, but at least it wasn't all fear and scared for their life and like a long process. It was like that.
Oh, Kelly Trunky said, "Hi, Mel. It was me that got smacked by the gorilla."
Oh, okay.
Becky said it was amazing. Hi. Oh, Christine Barmel's with us. Hi, Christine. Hi, Sharon. Sharon's here. It was funny. Linda Grindle was talking about that submarine. I said, "What? I hadn't heard about it. I've been, out of commission." And she said, it was going down to see the Titanic and it disappeared. And I said, "Linda, it imploded." And that was, I think there was some sort of structural failure, and I see it around a window, and I mean, it was just instant. I mean, it was like, but they knew that thing had some defects in it.
Yeah.
And they just let it go. I read an article about there was a guy, he does these incredible journeys or something, and he was going to go down in it, but when they started checking it out, this was a while ago, maybe it was last year or something. He said no, because it didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
And it's just tragic. It's just tragic.
Well, and I had heard too, I think somebody was going to go on this journey, this expedition with them, and then at the last minute backed out. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, or
no, this was a reporter that does these.
A reporter. I got
well,
you.
He's not a reporter, but he does like these travels all over these incredible journeys. I can't think of his name.
Oh, is it that he's with the Travel Channel or Destination? Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
I heard about the person not going.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of similarities to the Titanic. His name was Titan. the Titanic captain got in a hurry, even though he knew there was warnings of icebergs. And I think, this captain or whoever it was probably ignored a lot of stuff, and
Yeah, there's a lot coming out about kind of like the neglect and not having things up to code, or I think that there was definitely safety concerns there, and I feel like that's going to be really investigated.
I picked up immediately that it imploded, but
I
um,
think that I think the news had said that it imploded. So,
I think so. I don't know, but that's what I picked up. But
mhm.
when you're going under that deep, you can't mess around. I mean, you got to make sure
Right.
it is right.
Well, I mean, even too, like the pressure. I'm sure if there was any leak or anything, the pressure probably just crushed everything.
Oh,
Being
like
down that low, like I said, nobody, the people that passed didn't even know what hit them. So at least if we can find some solace in it, at least it was quick and painless.
it's like being in an explosion. It's so
Yeah.
fast, you don't even know it. So, um,
Oh,
Lisa, I'm going to do
interesting.
a video of the adventure. I'll put one together.
Connie says one of the passengers was a relative of a Titanic victim. I
The
hadn't heard
great
that.
great granddaughter
Mm,
of the husband and wife. I think they were. Was it to Macy's? I think it was the Macy's heirs,
hmm.
or the great. It was her great great grandparents. Um,
Okay.
and so
Yeah, and I'd heard that Jay Roberts, somebody that worked for the company, told them it wasn't safe and they fired them.
yeah, I
There,
heard that too.
it's going to be a big thing. Like they're shut down. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole company just goes bankrupt.
It's a tragedy, and
Yeah,
the sadder part is it was a tragedy that could have been prevented.
yeah.
Thank you, Sharon, for the plug. I'm looking through here to see if anybody's got any questions.
Yep, I got some starts, so
Okay, let me
started.
take a look.
And
Okay,
thank you so much for the super stickers, Jay Roberts.
yeah, that was
Really
nice.
appreciate it. Mimi Rose wants to know how Adam Schiff is doing.
I
Do
don't know
you
what's
think that
going on. I don't know what's going on with them. Refresh my memory.
the
I mean,
House just censored him?
I'm sorry. Do what?
They said the House just censured him. I don't even, somebody in the chat, if you can remind me why they did that. I think he said something against Trump that made him mad or something. I don't remember.
So when they censure him, what does that mean?
I think it's just kind of I don't think anything really happens with it. I could be wrong, but I think it's just a vote to disapprove of his job or to kind of
You know
shame
what?
him.
That really ticks me off. They do that to him.
Hmm.
My anger is going to come through.
Yep.
But they don't do anything. They didn't censure Santos. They didn't do a thing.
Hmm.
I mean, the hypocrisy just blows me away.
Yeah.
I'm sure Adam Schiff isn't hurt by it at all. It just makes it that much more incredibly stupid.
I feel a bit of mixed feelings with it. Part of me feels like he's angry about it, um, but not so much of it. Just the Republican Party, and just how far they've just went to the circus, like the crazy town. But also, I feel like he's definitely using it as an opportunity for his Senate run and getting donations with that. So I think part of it, he likes the attention he's getting for it. But also, like, he's not happy about the situation, is
I mean,
what I
he
feel.
spoke up and said something. Okay, they censured him, but they don't censure Marjorie Taylor Greene. They let her spew her hatred, her rhetoric, her bigotry, or Lauren Boebert, who wants to impeach Biden, which is, by the way,
Hmm.
as Linda Grindle would say, my guides tell me is going to be a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Well,
mean,
her and Lauren Boebert got into it, and
I
Marjorie
didn't
Taylor
know
Greene
that.
called her a little biatch.
Who did? Who did? Who did?
MTG called Boebert a little biatch because she took her impeachment plans, and so she wasn't happy about it because she wanted all the attention.
You mean Boebert, babies, Jesus,
Yeah.
Bible, and guns?
The GOP censured him and fined him millions for impeaching Trump.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
So then why don't they do the same thing to Lauren Boebert, who wants to impeach Biden?
because right now the Republicans have the House, so they can make crazy votes like
I
that.
get that. You know what? He's not going to pay. He'll get out of the millions. He's not going to have to
Yeah.
pay that. I don't see that.
I don't either.
And I don't know if he's got recourse legally because I don't know how the procedures work. But there was grounds for impeachment, and we were talking about a president who is who is committed like treason, who like
Right.
tried to interfere in changing an election, who committed fraud, who, oh my God, it goes on and on.
Well,
So
we have a title for the Republicans. They like to do the 5 Ds: divert, deflect, deceive, destroy. There was another one in there I don't remember at this
it
time.
is
But it's all just
deceive,
gaslighting people.
it is deceive, divert, distract, divide, and destroy.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of Republicans that don't like Boebert, and they're telling her, don't go through with this impeachment thing. And it doesn't make all Republicans bad. I think the ones you got to watch out for are I say MAGA,
The maggots.
the MAGA ones that you got to watch out for.
It's just a shame that even the moderate Republicans, or the ones that aren't so extreme, they just lack a backbone. They're spineless to standing up to what's right because of fear of retaliation from Trump and the MAGA voters.
Well, at some point, I still think that party is shattered. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think your prediction is going to come true about that because you always said it would.
We're already seeing it. I mean, the Republican Party right now is chaos. They can't get anything voted except for, a ludicrous censure vote against Adam Schiff. And I'm sure here soon they'll try an impeachment for Biden, but it's just a circus. It's not gonna be successful.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No, he hasn't even done anything. It's just crazy.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't you think it's like 2 years after the fact when they did that to Adam Schiff? So actually, what they did is they helped. My guides tell me they helped Adam Schiff politically. They really did.
Absolutely.
They really did.
Well, and he's running for the Senate, Dianne Feinstein Senate seat, and a lot of us had said that we felt like he was going to win that seat.
Yeah, and why didn't they censure Santos? But hello,
because they have a very slim majority, so they can't afford to lose any of them.
Of course.
And I've said it before. I feel it's very possible before the next election that the slim lead that they have, they lose some seats, and the Democrats just narrowly regain control before the next election.
I keep seeing that.
I think it may be next summer, so it's a while away still, but yeah, there's people being removed.
I keep seeing that. Can I put up this one?
Yeah, of course.
I'll let you read it, Kevin.
Oh, will the Russians who are working to end Putin's rule be successful? I've said the last time I read on Putin, I felt he needs to be leery of those around him because they're going to take him out. That's what I said. I felt a woman particularly. Oh, cool. Pretty close.
Hold on.
Very close.
Oops, I'm sorry. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Hold on. Oh.
You got it.
Yeah, I hit the wrong thing.
All right.
I'm trying to watch some of the comments here, and I hit the wrong thing, and there's a delay going on. I agree. I think the Russians who are working to end his rule will ultimately be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I hear yes. It's just going to take a while. It's not going to be tomorrow at 2:30, but I do see Putin out.
Interesting, because I just threw on. I was shuffling my deck, and a woman came out again. The Queen of Pentacles here. I don't know. There's a woman energy I feel like takes him down. He's holding on for a little bit, but there's action taken because he refuses to go, and then the Hermit comes. So this is like isolation, going into hiding. So yeah, I think absolutely. And a lot of people are starting to speak out on Putin now, and that's why we're hearing every other day somebody falling out a window. So
I saw the moon, like secrets coming from stuff.
mhm.
Shall I highlight another one, Kevin?
Yeah, if you're all set. Real quick though, Sissy says, so what did censoring Adam accomplish? Nothing. Just like impeaching Biden would accomplish nothing. They haven't done anything. It's just because their party is radical and crazy. So they're just trying to get their base all riled up, but it doesn't accomplish anything.
It accomplished nothing, and really it gained Adam Schiff great political gains, what it did.
Yeah.
All right. Will we
All right.
find out who gave Santos' dad and aunt the money to bail him out? Yes, yes, and yes.
I was going to touch up on that question because I knew that they were going to release the people that bailed him out of jail. And when I saw that it was family members, I was like, they didn't have that money. Somebody gave it to them.
Right.
So there's definitely a dark money channel to them, and I think that it was orchestrated that way.
Oh,
'Cause I don't feel like they have the funds to be able to afford to bail him out. They were given money, is what I was feeling.
When you said that, my psychic light bulb went on, and I saw a hand under the table and their hand under the table getting this money, and it's all done. That's what my psychic light bulb showed me. So you're right on that one. Somebody gave it to him. But here's the deal. I'm just wondering, like, if his aunt and his dad had the money to bail him out, do they live here or do they live in Brazil? Because if they live here, and if they use that money to bail him out, the IRS can go after them saying, did you declare that money as income? Because if somebody gave it to them, that's income.
Yeah.
So at some point, the IRS is going to be investigating that. That's what my light bulb shows me.
I feel like they already are. They're already looking into it.
Right.
But yeah, I felt like the whole Santos thing is a big scandal, and there's a lot more coming out about who gave the relatives bail money. I actually kind of felt like he may be out by August, is what I was feeling the last time I read on him. I feel like it's sometime at the end of the summer.
Which will give us one more seat ahead.
Yep, and that's definitely a flippable seat. I feel like the Democrat doing well in that.
Oh, it's totally flippable. So is Boebert's, and so is Marjorie.
Yeah.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know.
She's in a pretty red district, but Boeberts and Santos are pretty competitive. All right, let's see. Well, we kind of already answered this, but what do we see happening to Adam Schiff? I feel like he's well, I feel like the Senate seat he's running for, I think he's going to be successful with.
So do I. You know, he'll remember this.
All right, Senator Rick Scott of Florida mulling a run for candidate. Can you read on that?
If he does, I don't feel it being successful.
I don't either. I'm just going to throw a card on him.
I just don't feel success with it at all.
I feel like he actually may jump in. He's thinking about it. I think that the aspiration's there. If it's not this time, he will definitely run at some point. But I don't see success with that.
I don't feel success with it.
I don't know. I kind of feel 50-50 if he'll actually run or not, though. He wants to.
I see thunder and lightning, which is a surprise, you know, but maybe surprises to him.
Yeah. Ooh, he's got some dark energy around him. I do not like that. I think he may run. I don't see success with it, though. I have my Russia card, the Empress, which is reversed with the Devil. So I feel like there's definitely people, there's some negative people working with him to help him. And this is often a dark money card too, but I don't see success with that. Well, thank you so much, Firefly.
Thank you. That was cool.
Do you get a hit on if you think he'll actually run or not?
I do think he'll run, but I just see a surprise. It's not very agreeable to him. So if he runs, he's not going to go anywhere with it.
Yeah. Oh, and Valeria says he's up for a Senate seat too. So.
Oh, good.
Maybe it's not this time. I do feel like he'll run at some point, though. I do
I
feel.
do, but I just don't. But I just don't see success.
No, I don't think so either, Mel.
Let's see.
All right.
Tommy Tuberville. I know who he is, but I looked him up. But what is he doing exactly, Tommy Tuberville?
He's a senator. He's holding
He was
up.
a senator.
I don't know what committee he's in. He's holding up, I think, something for military promotions. I could be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that somebody can clarify.
He's doing what? I'm sorry.
He's holding up promotions for like military leaders and stuff like that. So it's actually like a security risk. What he's doing.
He'll be stopped. He'll totally be stopped.
That's correct.
I saw a hand like that. Halt.
Okay.
And the gate that comes down. Halt. That's what my psychic light bulb shows me. So that means he's going to get stopped. Absolutely.
And I just had the 8 of Wands come flying out, and this is quick movement coming in. So there's momentum building, I think. So where things have been stalled for a while, now we have movement. Yeah, and there's about to be a bad judgment call. I feel like he may be in trouble for some of this January 6th stuff. I'm getting the Judgment card and the Emperor, so it's like a bit of like an announcement with Trump or his relationship with Trump.
I see him under investigation, Tommy T, but I just don't know if he'll get indicted. But I do see investigations there.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Yeah, the issue is that he wants. Somebody said he's part of the Armed Service Committee, and yeah, he's obstructing the promotions because he wants the military to not allow abortions for women stationed in red states.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I see him stop. The answer is yes.
All right.
I was just looking up Rick Scott. I don't see him winning anything.
No, and I feel he's been very gun ho on cutting like Medicare and Social Security, and he's in Florida. He's a Florida senator. I mean, that's a big chunk of Florida's population.
When they call those programs entitlements, I cringe.
I know.
People pay for Medicare, and they've also paid into Social Security. That's not entitlement. That's something owed to everybody.
Yep. That's our money. It's our money that we've put into the system.
That's correct.
And you know what? There would be plenty of money there if their greedy hands would stop touching it and taking out and appropriating it to things that don't concern that.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. Some repeat questions. Sorry.
Oh, I like what Joel says.
What did Joel say?
Joel says the censure of Adam Schiff will result in him being the next senator from California.
Yeah.
It's going to help him politically. Okay. Hi.
Will the Durham get charged with anything? He basically obstructed justice. He was I think he was a special counsel, or
he's the guy that did that special investigation or something. Mm-hmm. The Durham report, which was really nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was a waste of taxpayer money, is what it was.
I don't know if he'll get charged with anything.
Yeah, I'm not feeling charges.
I'm not feeling that, but his career is done.
Yeah.
I see him on a road to nowhere. That's what what I keep seeing is he's on a road and there's a big sign nowhere. And he just takes that road and just keeps going in circles. He's going nowhere.
Yeah. I agree with you, Mel. I'm not feeling charges. But I do kind of feel like, I don't know if he's retirement age. I almost feel like retirement for him, like his career's over. Yeah, I feel like he's done.
Arrivederci.
Bye, Felicia.
Scrivi quando arrivi. In Italian, that means right when you get there.
All right.
Let's see what we have here. Well, this is a good one. We've answered some of them.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
If
one.
you see a question, you're ready. Pull it up, Mo.
This was a good one.
All right. What is Alito thinking after the ProPublica article? Will
You
he
mean
step
after
down?
his fishing, after it was exposed, he went on a fishing trip, and the guy
Mhm.
that took him had cases before the Supreme Court? Ooh, ouch.
I told you guys when everything was coming out about Clarence Thomas, there was a lot more coming out about these rich people influencing the justices.
Oh, there's more coming out.
And there's even more. Yep.
And then they showed him saying that, that they showed clips of him and talking about how, that they years ago that they shouldn't have, special favors or whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
But it's so hypocritical. And even Clarence Thomas, they showed years ago saying kind of the same thing.
Right.
But I don't think he or Thomas will step down.
Yeah, I'm not
at some point, I think at some point, once the political climate changes, then I do think that it's on some level they're going to be kind of asked to resign. But the thing that bothers me is the Chief Justice hasn't said anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Chief Justice Roberts, I think, said nothing. And I really think that it's playing along political lines, and that should not ever happen in the Supreme Court. Never.
I agree.
And that's going to change. I see legislation coming to keep them from hobnobbing and taking money and gifts and all of that from these large corporations are very, very wealthy people that want bills passed. And it's going to that want laws change in front of the court. I see legislation coming to prevent this sort of stuff from happening in the future.
Yeah, and rules coming in too that if there's a conflict of interest that they must recuse themselves.
That's correct. That's exactly what I see.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't feel Alito. I don't think he'll step down. I don't think he's in there too long, but I feel others leaving before Alito. I feel Thomas is going to have to leave when the January 6th stuff comes out and things really heat up around his wife. Like maybe he'll make some deal to step down so that they don't charge her. Is kind of what I was feeling.
Or it'll be like he'll use other reasons to say he's leaving the court.
Oh, I agree. It won't be. I think he'll say health reasons.
Right.
Because I don't feel great health with him either. But
no, I don't.
I do feel Thomas leaving, and I feel Roberts leaving not too far off in the future too. Maybe it's all these scandals coming out and his inaction to come out against them. I don't know. I feel like he just gets to a point where he's had enough and he's done. I think Alito's in there for a little bit longer.
I do too, but I mean, there's more coming out. I mean, we used to think that the Supreme Court was just untouchable, and boy, it's coming out how a lot of the corruption. And notice it's not coming out so much about the independents or the Dems. It's coming out from the Republicans.
Yeah.
Or the conservatives. So, the truth is prevailing.
That's what 2023 is all about. It's about accountability and really the light being shed on everything that's kind of been secret or in the dark. There's exposure for a lot of the corruption. And it's going to be on the Democratic side as well. But
of course,
it's going to be on both sides.
Not all Democrats are angels either.
Yeah.
So it's going to be accountability for everybody. But there's one thing to have accountability. It's another thing to say, will they suffer the consequences or will they get out of it?
Yeah.
And there's already these people saying, well, if Trump is, convicted, we'll think about giving him a pardon. But yet they want to crucify Hunter Biden. So it's like.
Well, my thing is that they don't have anything on Biden, so they're going to go after his kid, who's not even in his administration. But yet Trump had his kids in his administration, and who got $2 billion from the Saudis? Nobody wants to look at that.
But they will.
They will, but nobody wants to touch that. But let's go after his son that's, had a bit of a hard time in the past. He's not in politics, so crazy.
this is not going to, Sylvia Munoz asked a good question, but it's not going to, she's asking, excuse me, after Biden's plea deal, I didn't know what kind of a plea deal he did, but
He
here.
got tax charges, and he got 2 tax charges, which he's already paid for, and came to a deal. I think they're going to give him probation over, and then I think there was a gun charge too, but they dropped that. So, but he's not going to be charged. They're giving him probation.
Well, why don't they get Donald Trump, who falsely inflated his stuff?
Well, they will.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's really not that big of a deal either. I did say before I felt like there was something financial coming out with Biden, but all of the attacks in the House and all their committees, witch hunts with his laptop, there's nothing's gonna that's not going anywhere.
I don't know if Hunter's going to sue the MAGAs, but you know, at the end of the day, he got probation, but that's going to be the end of it. But you know, the very ones that went after Hunter Biden had better watch out, because guess what? You don't, if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones, because a
Right.
lot of them that went after him that are in the House and the Senate, guess what? Same thing's going to happen to them. That's what my guides tell me.
Right. Mimi Rose said he paid his taxes late. Big deal. Right.
At least he paid them.
Right.
All right.
All right.
I don't know what you have, Kevin.
Yeah. It's Paxton, Paxton's the AG in Texas that's in
No.
trouble. Is Paxton going to get DeJoy in trouble over ballots? I do feel there's a connection there, because I do feel DeJoy getting in some kind of trouble for entertainment purposes only, messing with mail-in ballots for the last election, the last presidential election. They were getting rid of ballots and slowing down the post office so that the mail-in ballots wouldn't be counted.
My psychic light bulb went on and tells me that Paxton actually thinks he's going to get out of trouble.
Oh, yeah, he's going down. DeJoy is, though, too.
Absolutely. So, wow. Yeah, he's gonna. I see DeJoy coming down. I do.
Yeah.
But you know, I think Paxton's going to have to realize that sooner or later he is in deep doo-doo. And I got a funny feeling behind the scenes he's going to sing like a canary.
Okay. Yeah, I almost do feel like at some point some jail time for DeJoy. I don't know. Every time I look at him, I just get like mob boss kind of vibes from him. It like there's a lot of shady dealings I feel with him. I wouldn't be surprised if he already has a criminal record.
I had said a long time ago I thought he was going to be under investigation and indictment. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is a good one.
All right. Hi, Kevin and Mel. Do you see China attacking Taiwan and winning?
I don't see them attacking Taiwan. Well, China thinks that Taiwan belongs to them, like Putin
Right.
thought that, you know, that Ukraine belonged to Russia. But I don't see the mainland Chinese attacking Taiwan.
I feel eventually, but not right now. But I feel like it's almost if it was just China and Taiwan, China probably would win. But I feel like the world would really come to Taiwan's help, kind of similar to like what's going on in Ukraine. And
I think China knows better
I think so too.
because it would wreck their economy.
Hmm.
Totally.
But I'm not feeling it like right now or in the near future. I do
just
feel like they may try. I don't know if it's an attack. I feel like they escalate things, but I'm not feeling like war energy to it.
I'm
So
not
there may
feeling
be like an attack or some kind of intimidation, but I don't see it being successful.
because I think China knows that if they do that, they're going to be committing economic suicide. That's what my guides tell me.
Well, they can't do it right now because their economy is so bad right now with COVID.
I just don't see it happening.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll be surprised if it does, but I'm just
Yeah.
not picking up on it right now.
All right. Thank you, Cece. Yeah, it was the Paxton. He didn't throw out 2.5 million ballots. It was applications, but not actual votes.
Well, that's
Thank
just
you.
bad.
It is, but it wasn't actual votes. But I do feel like they're, for entertainment purposes only, some ballots that got dumped. I think
Of
most of the
course.
mail stuff.
There were shenanigans going on. Absolutely.
We have to be careful with what we get into on YouTube because
Yep.
they watch
Gotta be
that.
careful what we say.
Mhm. So allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's see. Oh, this is. Do you feel like Republicans will censure more
Of
Democrats?
course. Of course.
I did feel
That's
yes.
just gonna make and that's just gonna make the independents of the Democrats like gain more votes. If the if some of those MAGAs were smart, they would, or even though moderate Republicans, they'd be like, no, you know what? You're causing us to lose elections. They just don't get it, you know. I mean, I have friends that are Republicans and they're decent people. They're
Yeah.
not, not all Republicans are bad. Democrats are good.
Right.
I think the ultra right, supposedly Christian minority in the House, supposed Christian, the man, I think they will try to censure more Democrats, but it's just going to help the Democrats.
Well, and it doesn't really do anything per se. It's just kind of
It's divisive.
right. It doesn't actually do anything to hurt the person. It's just to make them look bad. But I love how the Democrats were coming together when McCarthy was gaveling at that end. They kept on chanting shame, shame, shame.
No. Isn't it amazing that the Republicans, some of them, at least the MAGA ones, let the MAGAs get by with whatever they want? But boy, if you even let a moderate Republican or a Democrat or an independent do any of that stuff, they would censure them in a New York second.
Right.
The
Well,
hypocrisy.
and that's kind of like somebody asked, will Democrats censure any Republicans? They're not going to play these childish games. I mean, if they removed MTG from her committees for a valid reason, but they're not going to just censure somebody or remove them or impeach somebody that didn't do anything wrong. They're not child. It's just childish and immature. That's what it is.
The MAGA's way of getting even. Okay.
Yep.
Because they got caught because the MAGAs got caught doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing. All right. So Kevin, I agree. My guides are telling me this is not going to be tit for tat. The Democrats aren't going to say, well, you censored me, so I'm going to censure you. No, that's divisive. And I see at some point this divisiveness will stop. I still see another party coming forward, though. I really do.
Interesting. I was going to say, as you were talking, yeah, we're going to eventually get some bipartisanship. When the MAGAs and the Republicans fracture and split, and it's like they're going at it, there will be Republicans that work with Democrats, and even when the Republican Party has to kind of rebuild and rebrand, there'll be a much better party for it afterwards. Like Liz Cheney really, I think, is going to take a leadership role with reestablishing the party, and it is going to be more bipartisan. I do feel at some point too that the Democratic Party is going to do something similar, but I don't think it's going to be quite as. I don't see it like an actual fracture, but there's tension between the parties, the progressive and the middle. So there's a bit of restructuring with both parties going on.
I see, though, a third party coming in that's going to be pretty middle of the road.
Okay.
Not Democrat, not Republican, but a third party that's going to get away from, the labels conservative, liberal, but more middle of the road, and would use an approach that's good for the country as opposed to want to hold on to power and stuff like that. I see another party coming, and they're going to be formidable, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel something too.
And I feel it within the next 2 or 3 years. I'm not talking like the Green Party and stuff. I'm talking about a viable, not that the Green Party is not viable. I'm talking about like a really powerful political force that's very middle of the road.
Well, do you feel like it could be the Republican Party coming in and rebranding and
No,
changing it a lot? You feel like it's a separate? Okay.
something. Now you're right. I do think that behind the scenes, Liz Cheney would try to bring back some of the old order Republicans. The answer is yes, but I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a third party.
Okay. Do you feel like it has something to do with maybe it's not green, but as you're saying it, it kind of feels like the green technology and like something a little bit more middle of the road, but really interested in climate change and green technology and
It would
like sustainability kind of.
it would be a party that's like, let's look at the environmental concerns. Let's
Yeah,
let's have clean air. Let's have clean water. Let's
yeah.
let's let's make medications affordable. Let's we believe in free enterprise, but we
I feel like a lot of young people are actually going to like that party.
I do too. It's
Mhm.
it's kind of it's based on politics, but it's about science and common
Yeah.
sense and not full of QAnon BS.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can feel that too. I don't know if I get a timing quite as quickly as you do, but I definitely feel something coming in eventually with that.
it's gonna
But it
work.
very well could be 2, 3 years. But
It's
that's
gonna,
starting to resonate. Yeah.
I see within the next few years, absolutely.
All right. Well, we need a lot more green technology and advances and money put into that.
Well, it would be a party that would invest money in different technologies
Yeah.
like that, like green technology,
Hmm.
and kind of reduce the oil dependence, but wouldn't be manipulated by certain brothers who own oil companies. I didn't say any names.
Yeah.
Um, it's about environmental concerns, but it's also about creating jobs. It's about fixing the infrastructure. It's about, people are going to say I'm describing Democrats, but I see it middle of the road,
Hmm.
not this divisiveness.
I'm just gonna pull up Anne's question. She says, "Why don't the lying YouTube political pundits like Liz Wheeler have to declare for entertainment purposes only? You guys speak more truth." That may be true, but I just like to cover my own ass. you know, you never know. You get into stuff that's maybe not quite out there or acknowledged yet. It's kind of a tricky slope. So I've just heard that it's best to be safe than sorry. So
I don't think we have to say it, but I do.
yeah, I
Uh,
like to kind of cover my own.
Correct. You got to be careful what you say.
Absolutely.
That's why some things I kind of skirt around.
Hmm.
All right.
Absolutely. All right. I think we have time for a couple more questions.
Okay.
Everybody watching, if you could do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'm almost at 8,000 subscribers. So once I hit that goal, I'll give a free reading and Reiki session. So I think I'm like 70 away. I'm getting pretty close. Go over to Mel's channel and subscribe too if you haven't already. But
And when I get to 20,000 subscribers, I will give away 3 free half-hour readings and 3 free Aloha shirts. And I'm going to have a 20,000 party. I'll have a lot of the readers on the 20,000 party. Kevin, you'll be one of them, of
of
course.
course. And hopefully I get to 10K before the end of the year. I feel like there's energy around that, and we'll have another celebration on my channel when we do too. I had a lot of fun last time.
I'm going to keep doing my YouTube. I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah. Laura says, "Do we feel Ginny Thomas will be charged, or will she get off?" I'm feeling investigated, but I'm not feeling charged, unfortunately. I can throw a card or two on it, but
I see some sort of censure for her. It could be probation. She clearly lied, that's for sure, when she said she didn't know anything about, the insurrection, and they found out she did.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're wanting to charge her for. Was it dark money or what? But I do see I don't know if it's indictment, but I see charges. But I believe, like you, Kevin, I don't see her in jail.
No, I feel like, and maybe she makes a deal to get out of it. I don't know. I kind of felt like it would be the reason why Thomas left. So they don't actually pursue charges, something like along the lines of that. But I definitely feel there's a lot of investigation and a lot more coming out about her involvement with January 6th.
Oh, they have stuff on her, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I was shuffling and I did have the Four of Swords come out, which can be jail, but it's more of a card of retreat and going into hiding and isolation, resting. Um, I'm getting like the star with it, so I don't think that she's going to be charged. It's like she's able to either change the narrative or delay things and then retreat.
Or just be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm not feeling charges. I feel like she either makes a deal or, she gets.
I think my psychic light bulb just went on. I think behind the scenes, I see her talking to them, telling what she knows.
Yeah, could be.
That's what I see.
It's sad though. I mean, she's so brainwashed and really believes all of the nonsense. And I do feel like she's gonna have a bit of a breakdown. I like mental breakdown, and like a lot of healing. Like I don't feel the best about Clarence's health either. So I don't know with that, but
I think he's got to watch his blood sugar.
yeah, I was gonna say it felt like liver or like in that area, like solar plexus area, like liver, pancreas.
I'm picking up blood sugar. So,
all right. I have two more questions. I'm sure there was more sent, but will Jim Jordan be subpoenaed for the January 6th by Jack Smith? I feel eventually, yes.
I don't know if he's subpoenaed for the attack, but he's going to be subpoenaed to talk about what he knew before it happened and while it was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he might just say that he's not going to go to the subpoena. Let's hope he does that, because if he
feel like he's gonna, I feel jail time for Jim Jordan, so maybe it is.
So do I. I was just going to say that. He's going to look good in those pink slide-on, those orange slide-on shoes.
I said I feel like with the January 6th, when they start going towards the Congress and senators, I feel like at first it's Trump and like his lawyers and aides and people in his administration, and then they come in waves. I'm feeling like with charges and indictments. It's like that, and then there's people in the Congress, and then people really start to freak out and give up all the goods. Then there's more. Then there's more people giving up the goods and the evidence, and then it feels like there's 3 or 4 waves of indictments for January 6th. Is what I'm picking up.
My psychic light bulb just went on, not to change the subject, but
You're fine.
Like a flash bulb.
What are you getting?
I got a funny psychic feeling, thank you, guides, that when they censured Adam Schiff,
Mm-hmm.
my guides have often told me behind the scenes that T. Rump is really running the house.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if he went to McCarthy or he went to some of the powers that be. Now, Trump didn't do it directly. He would use somebody down the chain, but it came from him, I feel. Entertainment purposes only, to censure Adam Schiff for drawing up articles of impeachment, because it was Trump's way of getting even with Adam Schiff.
Retaliation.
That's what just, I mean, it was so crystal clear to me.
Well, it's really interesting too, because I think Trump is, you can tell by his actions on True Social, he's starting to get scared, because he's like demanding that any Republican that does not go up and go against the FBI and and really defend Trump, like he's going after you, is what he's pretty much alluding to. So he's already telling them to obstruct things. He sees the writing on the wall, and he knows he's screwed with the documents case. He's getting
Well,
scared.
I got a funny feeling some of those orders came directly from him about the whole Adam Schiff thing. I could
Yeah,
be
I could definitely see that.
but that's
Absolutely.
going to be proven at some point too. You mark my words.
Oh, and Trump did say, he said any Republican who did not vote to censure Schiff would be primaried. So you're absolutely right. He already put that out there. I remember that now. Thank you, Colleen.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it.
All right. But what I was going to say with the waves of indictments for the January 6th, I don't feel that Jim Jordan will be one of the first. I think he'll be one of the later people
He'll
they
be
go
late.
after.
But something big's going to blow. I'm telling you. I'm feeling it.
All right. There's something big coming out, I think, with Jack Smith too and Trump. Either this week or next week. There's something more coming out. I don't know if it charges at New Jersey or I don't know. I definitely feel more energy coming out with Jack Smith and Trump here very soon.
It's going to be huge.
All right, let's we've been on for a little over an hour. Let's end on Mary Ann's question. She says, "Do you see documents in Scotland at Trump's golf course?"
No, I don't.
Nope. I wasn't picking up Scotland so much, but I definitely felt like Bedminster there were.
Bedminster, yes, and check the sewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the sad thing is a lot of the documents, like he had folders of the classified that were empty. A lot of them are gone.
Of course.
They're not gone, but they were given away to other people that either he owed something a favor to for helping them win the election, or information that went to the Saudis and he got paid for it. Yeah, there's a lot of it that was
I'm thinking psychically. You know what, Kevin? You hit on it. You got it right.
yeah. But I do feel like, and maybe this is what I'm feeling with Jack Smith. I do feel like it's going to come out that documents, national security documents, were given to other countries, and it feels soon.
There's going to be a whistleblower coming from another country that's going to say, "We got these documents. Here's how we got them."
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, Trump will deny it, but that's going to be huge.
It's huge. And I feel like additional charges coming with that too.
Correct.
All right. Well, Mel, we all missed you. I'm so glad that we got together this week. Next week we'll do your channel. Does that sound good?
That's fine. We'll do it. We'll be here live.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to both of our channels. We will see you all next week, next Thursday. If we didn't get to your question today, come back on my Tuesday show, or next Thursday on Mel's channel, and we'll answer more. So sending you all a lot of love, and talk to you all real soon.
Stay well.